Here in the first episode of Earborn, I'm breaking the rules before I even established them. I thought about doing this show for a while now, and the aim of Earborn was to feature cool singles from cool acts that a given Gen Xer may not have heard of, or at least I haven't heard of. But today I want to highlight an entire album, one that I've been listening to nonstop for about 5 weeks, and I'm just dying to talk about. Today, we will be looking at 2019's The Pink Château by a duo called In the Valley Below.
Whatever you can, you do. With no real thought of whether you should or whether you really want to. And what kind of way is that to live today? Is it greed that makes you feel this way? Whatever you want to do, cause I can't really stop you.
Funny story, I found the Pink Château while I was watching movies, not listening to music. Several weekends ago, the free streaming app called Tubi placed a movie called The Pink Château in my recommended videos, given that I click on a lot of music-related content there. Basically, I just keep watching the Prince Sign of the Times concert movie over and over again. Anyway, the description stated that it was a film companion to the then new 2019 album by In the Valley Below, a band I'd never heard of. Interesting name though, In the Valley Below. I wonder if it was a reference to a lyric from the Led Zeppelin song called The Battle of Evermore.
I hear voices thunder down in the valley below.
In the Valley Below is the duo of Marcos Efron and Angela Gale. A film companion to a new album featuring erotic and sensual tales, the description said. Okay, I gave it a shot, and over the next 20 minutes or so, I was entertained by a mixture of dark pop, soft funk, and rock that owed just as much to the past as it was trying to look forward. This, while the band gave me its own interpretation of its sonics with images that were written and directed by Ms. Gale herself. I mentioned rule breaking a minute ago. As a matter of principle, I tend not to like to have art interpreted for me, especially when it comes to music. Never tell me the story behind a song that I like. If I like a work, I've already added it to the soundtrack of my life for reasons that are known only to me. It's funny how art works that way. But here, Gale gives bright, unambiguous imagery to Valley songs that I recognize as a uniquely female journey concerning carnal experiences. Now, that can just be my interpretation of the film, which stands alone as an artistic offering within itself. But the imagery, theme, and subtext so concerned with the sexual journey contains, by my count, almost no shots designed, at least not on purpose, to please the male gaze. I have to be honest with you and admit that I still get a little weird about seeing actresses in the nude on film. And I do have both political and artistic convictions about this artistic choice that can sometimes lead to a level of discomfort while watching. But even more than that, viewing The Pink Château, it's almost like being in the head of a woman concerning this part of all our lives that we share, but culturally treat with a level of discretion, even secrecy. Watching the film, I started to feel like a voyeur. Not just in the obvious sense of watching people's private actions, but like hearing a person's private thoughts. Only here, thoughts that are normally private are put to image and screen. If it wasn't for the fact that it was part of a promotion for an album to be sold, I wondered whether or not I should even be watching The Pink Château. And you know what I did? I stopped watching The Pink Château early on in the work and only returned to it once I purchased the album and listened to it several times in its entirety. But that was the film. Now let's talk about the album. As far as I'm concerned, album-oriented works is music. It's the gold standard for popular music. When artists take a few themes that mean something to them and puts together a collection of songs wrapped in a visual art that all serve to support a vision that they had in a single point in time in their lives, that's the magic. If I can be a music snob, this is why I think adults should graduate from top 40 at a certain age. Album-oriented works are a full course meal. Top 40 is McDonald's, and McDonald's is for kids. On the other hand, to come down off of my high horse, those same factors are why movie soundtracks, especially the beloved ones from the 80s for Generation X, have lived on so long, despite their purely commercial nature of those endeavors. I mean, they do check all those same conceptual boxes, like with theme and such. The Pink Chateau is strong, personal, album-oriented pop that's influenced by the best concept album lessons learned over the decades. I would love to be able to talk to this band to find out what their musical influences are because I have my suspicions and I'm dying to know if I'm right. Let's take a look at one of the songs.
We're gonna rise, hear the calling. We're gonna find that we belong. We're gonna rise above where we're falling. We're gonna rise.
Thematically, Rise, at least to me, seems like the centerpiece song of the Pink Chateau, even more than the title track, The Pink Chateau. Whereas the funky title track is the perfect opening to the rest of the album, I mean, lyrically, it's kind of an invitation. Rise is what the Pink Chateau is about once you make it inside. Now, the beginnings, twists, and turns of a woman's journey will be explored at different points during the album and the film. But for now, you're listening to a woman that knows some things. And one of those things, at least in this moment in time, is what she wants.
So put your hands on me. Put your hands on me.
The production on Gail's voice during the verse is low, smoky, and informed. Neither the sound of her voice or the opening lyrics convey innocence or inexperience. You are listening to a woman, not a girl trying to figure things out.
Oh Lord, I got a confession. I fall into the darker side.
Now, I'm going to break down almost every song of the Pink Chateau in its own video at some point, which is the actual format of Earborn. And when I do, I promise I won't use the word sexy too often. First off, I think that word gets me in trouble with YouTube, but it's going to be hard not to use that word for the majority of Chateau tracks, especially after viewing the film. Having said that though, Rise is sexy. That bridge with its stripped down hip hop breakdown and bassy beat restart, mixed with those light and airy vocals, listen.
Break glass, leave the shadow. Do tell me who you follow. Feel the way, all the way now. Feel the way, feel the way, feel the way.
Awesome. The cool thing about that bridge is that it's only played once in the song. It's the sonic jewel in the middle of this sensual song that begs for repeat play. Much of Chateau is like this. All their tracks make their point and get out. Personally, I think that's a hallmark of a great album. The theme is supported by a structure of short, focused tracks, with maybe one indulgent 6 to 8 minute masterwork that will be remembered forever. Now, concerning that, there's no track like that. There's no Stairway to Heaven or Comfortably Numb, but I will say Brass Ring is kind of Purple Rain-like.
Your daddy was tough, you fought in the war. Your mama was wild, she never came home. And
This audio has been blocked by YouTube for copyright purposes. Subject, Purple Rain by Prince. This audio has been blocked by YouTube for copyright purposes. Subject, Purple Rain by Prince. Now, did you hear what I heard, or am I just going crazy? Anyway, I think the band is just pacing themselves before they give us the song for which they will forever be remembered, and I cannot wait. I'd like to end today's episode the way I'll end all episodes, and that is to remind everyone to please purchase an artist's music, or any artist's work. From movies to TV to, of course, music, I think we can all agree that we can tell when there's a deficit of talent. It's important to compensate the gifted for their output. Thanks for hanging out.
I can't
See you
really
next
stop you.